Hi, everyone, and welcome back. It's been a while. It's been a busy summer for me, so I wanted to pop on here and just talk a little bit about grief. Obviously, grief is different for all of us, and we all deal with it in our own way. I thought that it would be a good idea to share a little bit of my experience, what helps me and what doesn't help me when I'm grieving. And hopefully, some of you out there find it helpful and can relate. Um, I've had a lot of loss in my life. Within the last 6 years, I've actually lost three grandparents, and I don't have any more great grandparents or grandparents, and that's been super, super hard. Um, of course, every time somebody I love has passed away, I grieve for all of them. But I had one loss in particular that was absolutely devastating for me, and that was the loss of my great grandma Bacon. She was so precious. I can't even describe her. And I felt like she made our family cohesive, made us come together on a level that nobody else could. And so, anyway, I'm going to show you a picture of her. So, that's my great grandma Bacon. And I just want to talk to you guys a little bit about what has helped me and what I find unhelpful in the grieving process. What I found helpful is journaling. I think that journaling is very powerful. Um, get all your thoughts out, get all your feelings out. So that's one thing I do. Writing, of course, for me, you all know that I write poetry. And so that's been a big outlet for me. And I actually am going to read one of the poems that I wrote after my great grandma passed away. I've actually wrote several that I would like, several on grief that I'd like to share with you guys, but I'm going to wait until I publish my next book before I read them out on here due to copyright um, issues. Um, so let me read the poem that I wrote, and it's called Pearls. My great grandma's first name was Pearl. Grandma, I feel so blessed to have had you in my life for 35 years, but I miss you every day. My eyes are full of tears. Believe I searched for you, stood beside your empty bed, and Amma, Amma is what he said. He wonders where you are, and I tell him you had to go, but he doesn't understand. He doesn't know. You adored him, and he adored you, and that love and adoration blessed my heart too. You truly are a pearl, a jewel, a gem. Your value is beyond measure. You are forever my gold, my treasure. I love you, Grandma. I'll meet you at the pearly gate. Until then, please watch over me and wait. Another thing that I would say helped me or helps me deal with my grief is just straight out talking to my loved ones. I believe that there is a heaven. I believe that those that are up there can hear us, that they can see us. And so, I'll just say, "Hey, Grandma, I'm really missing you today." And I find that comforting as well. One thing that I find not comforting at all, not helpful, is platitudes. And I think that a lot of times when it comes to grief, saying less is better. Like when I meet somebody or somebody tells me they lost someone, I just say, "I'm sorry for your loss." Because sometimes I think when you try to say more, it's just empty words and it doesn't help. So when people said, "Well, she lived a long life," or "she's in a better place," none of those things comforted me. That none of them. Yes, I'm glad she lived a long life. Yes, I'm glad she's in heaven, but I wish that she would live 500 years. I wish she would live forever on the planet with me. That didn't lessen the loss that I felt when she passed away. So that's something I would suggest we refrain from saying to people that are grieving a loss. I wanted to read a couple quotes because you know how I'm on quotes. Um, and so here they are. "There is no grief like the grief that does not speak." And this is by Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. And this really resonated with me because I think so many times that words fall so short on heavy, heavy subjects like grief. Number two, "Grief changes shape, but it never ends." And this is by Keanu Reeves. And I thought he said that very well because while our grief can maybe improve a little bit, it never entirely goes away. And lastly, grief can't be shared. Everyone carries it alone, his own burden in his own way. And that's by Anne Morrow Lindbergh. And I absolutely agree with that quote as well. Each of us can have some empathy, obviously, for each other because we have all had losses of our own. But when it comes down to it, we have to deal with that grief in our own way. Of course, I always want to leave off with a scripture. And here's the scripture: Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Matthew 5:4. So take care, guys, and I look forward to meeting up, talking to you again.